Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel of Adventures of Spirits. I'm Tanya, and I am actually the owner of a small business called Event Yours, where I plan events, consult people on planning their events, and I help my clients bring their vision and their ideas of fun to life. As you can see, this is not an event. However, one of the events that I absolutely enjoy is hosting a tasting. And as you can see, there's various libations that I partake in, and I'm always looking for new spirits to try. And I figured I'd bring all the information to YouTube. So, with that stated, know that this channel we will be featuring spirits from around the world, talking about spirits from around the world, drinking spirits from around the world, and even ending that segment with a cocktail or two, depending on how everything goes. However, today we'll be talking about cognac. We will be featuring the top four cognacs of the cognac houses around the world. See you when you return.
Perfect.
So let's get into it. So, what are we featuring today? So, today we're featuring four of the top cognac houses. Okay. Um, some of them are older than others. However, we're going to be tasting these in the order of how big they are in the world. So, we'll be starting from the smallest to the biggest. They're all big, but the smallest to the biggest. So, we'll start off with Courvoisier. Found that out. I've been saying this wrong for so long. It is not Cavassier. It is not Cavassier. It is Courvoisier. So that is the proper pronunciation for all the French people or the French speaking people on the channel here. Please don't kill me in the comments, okay? I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I don't have an external accent. I did learn a little Spanish though, but French is not my forte. However, we will be tasting Courvoisier, Remy Martin, Martell, and the House of Hennessy. Okay, there is another house by the name of Camus, and I do have Camus, but we won't be featuring that this evening. Camus. Camus here is actually the fifth largest cognac house in the world, and they have a strong lineage, keeping it in their family for over 158 years. This is a good cognac. It's good to sip on. As you can see, it's not that much taken from here. As you can see, these are the most popular ones of the people who come through Lounge 4092 to have a drink or two and just sit around and talk with friends and family. So, just so you'll know, another fun fact is the oldest to the newest. So, just so you'll know, Martell is actually the oldest cognac. They're actually been doing the cognac for over 306 years. We have our Remy Martin. Remy Martin is 297 years. Hennessy is 256, and Courvoisier is 210, and Camus, as I stated before, was 158. So as you can see, there's VSOP, XO, and we have two VSs here. I'm sorry, we have two VSOPs today. Hennessy is a VS. So just so you know, a VS just stands for very special. It just means it's aged a minimum of 2 years. You have your VSOPs, which stands for Very Superior Old Pale, and it just means it's been aged a minimum of 4. And then you have your wonderful XO, which is 10 years or more. a minimum of 10 years. And this stands for extra old. Now, there is a category extra, extra old, and that is where you get into the lovely Louis XIII Cognac, which is also by Remy Martin, and that's been aged over 40 years to as old as 100 years. So when you're looking at the price tag of Louis XIII, you see why. But just to give you a little experience in reference to Louis XIII, I remember experiencing it in Las Vegas. I was with my cousins, and we were at the Brazilian steakhouse, Fogo de Chão. And maybe a show, maybe a show. I'm not Brazilian. I don't speak Portuguese. So, again, don't kill me in the comments. Either way, we were waiting for our table. And along with waiting for the table, we figured, okay, we came into a little bit of money, been playing the slots a little bit. And so we decided, let's go to the bar. Me and my cousin Terrence, let's go to the bar. Let's get some Louis XIII. We're going to try this together. Okay, so they came out, and of course, the cost of it was you're going to get about a quarter of a shot. It's going to cost you anywhere, depending on where you go, will be anywhere from $100 to $200 for a quarter ounce of liquid. So just let me give you a visual. So this is a shot glass. Okay, this holds 2 ounces of fluid. Okay, so let me show you how much a quarter of an ounce looks like. This is your taste right here. From the top of my finger, because the bottom of the shot glass is too thick. That right there, that's going to give you a good, what about 2 sips, 2 manly sips. And for those who like to sip, daintily, you maybe get about 3. I was able to get about 3. Terrence, if you're watching, put in the comments how many sips you were able to get out of it. However, we did enjoy it. It is exactly what they say it is. It is all that and a bag of chips, as some will say. I can tell you though that the presentation of bringing it out was unreal. So they have on these white gloves, and they're pushing this big cart, a gold plated or whatever in glass cart. Okay, you would think it was a what you call it at the church. You would think it was like a mobile altar or something, and they rolled it out with and the bottle looks similar to this. It's round, but it's a little more flush. It doesn't have the ridges, and the glass is gorgeous, of course, and they but do know that the rim around the top of the actual Louis XIII is gold, just so you know. So that's where some of the money is applied. But they rolled out the cart, and they had this metal device, stainless steel it looked like, and it looked like a trocar. So for those of you in healthcare, a trocar they use to when they're entering in through an area, and it's looks like a little long cylinder circle. Think of it as a hollow pipe, if you will. Okay, but it had the function of like a syringe. Okay, so they stuck the stainless steel syringe is what I'm going to call it, and pulled out, and I guess it's to make sure that you only get the amount you're supposed to, and they pulled it out and they injected it into the actual glass, and the glass was not just a regular glass or crystal. This was crystal glass. This was, to me, I don't know, it sort of reminds me of like the old-fashioned crystal glasses that you find in your grandma's china cabinet, with all the nice little chiseled ridges around it. Not very looks very dated, very old century type crystal, but I can tell you the experience was all worth it. Um, and as I stated before, Remy Martin, anybody on here from Remy Martin, I would love to be able to feature Louis 13 on this channel. I know I'm small right now, channel's just getting started, but I promise you, if you would keep me in mind when you are either bringing out something new with Louis 13, or you just have an old bottle, just an old bottle that's in the back of your warehouse that, no one really knows, or hey, it might be just a little sample, whatever it is, feel free to bring it to me. I would love it. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the tasting, shall we? So, one, we will be drinking cognac. Most cognac is drank in a snifter. So a snifter is shaped a certain way for a purpose. And most glasses that are used for certain drinks are used for certain drinks for a reason. I will have another video in reference to different type of glasses and why. But for the sake of just today with cognac, the reason that has a short stem is made so you can comfortably hold it in your hand as such. And the reason you hold it in your hand is, what does your hand do? Or what does your body or skin do when it comes in contact with something? It warms it up. And so cognac is really meant to be drinking while warm, room temperature. Some people make hottie toddies with it, right? For those, instead of the Robitussin, you can also do a hottie toddy and it'll do the same thing. But however, this is the whole purpose of this glass. It's also shaped in a way where you can easily swirl it as well as smell it. As you can see, it goes from a bowl and it moves up closer to a neck. A little different than a Glencairn glass, which is for the whiskey, which is a little slimmer, but we'll get into that detail during my whiskey segment. However, this is the glass I'll be drinking out of today. But as I stated before, you can drink whatever you want out of whatever you want, however you want. Okay, if you want it on ice, if you want it neat meaning nothing, you want it chilled, meaning it wasn't some ice but you strained it because you just want it cold, or room temperature, or you boil it. It's up to you how you drink it. Yes, there are ways of where you can get the most out of your taste or the experience by doing, I guess, what it was created initially. But at the end of the day, drink your liquor the way you want to drink your liquor. You want to mix it, knead it, ice it, chill it, boil it, warm it up, room temperature, mix it. It doesn't matter. Do you, okay? So, we're going to start off with Courvoisier. And while I'm pouring my portion out, let's talk about cognac and what it is. So, what is cognac? So, cognac actually it originally starts off as a wine called brandy. Remember that wine? Brandy? Yes. So, some people, what are some brandies? I don't know a lot of brandies. I usually drink the cognac. I don't drink much brandies, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows Christian Brothers. They know E&J, also known as Erkinger, whatever that means. But however, those are just the two that comes to mind, only because those were the two I've seen recently. So pardon me if I don't have a whole list of those, but if you know of any other brandies, put them down in the comments and help me get my knowledge up in terms of brandies. However, but what is cognac? So basically, in order to get the title cognac, it has to be distilled twice. So the brandy must be distilled twice in copper pot stills. It has to be made predominantly from the Uyghur grapes. Uyghur grapes. It's spelled Ugni, but the correct pronunciation is Uyghur. And those are actually the same grapes that is used in Italian white wines, more so Italian white wines. And this must be aged in French oak barrels for a minimum of 2 years. So it has to be aged for 2 years in order to have the cognac title to it. Most cognac is made in southwest France in the Cognac region. And the reason why I say most is, that's usually where they are, but you may have some companies that are trying to venture out and so forth. But either way, everything is coming from that region. The grapes, even if it's imported, regardless, let's just say it's made in southwest France, in the Cognac France region, which actually accounts for 10% of the French vineyards in France. So let's talk about Courvoisier. So Courvoisier was founded in 1811 by Felix Courvoisier. It is 100% Grand Champagne Cognac, which is one of the regions of France. And just let me back up a little bit. The Cognac regions, because when I talk about each of these and I mention certain things, I just need you to understand what I'm talking about. So there are a total of 6 regions in France, Cognac France, where the Cognac is made. So you have the Grand Champagne, which is where predominantly most of the Uni grapes are. Petit Champagne. Borderies, you have Fabois, Bonbois, and Bois. And so basically most of the time people look at the top 3 as the primary places that you really want your cognac to come from. So just a little to touch on that a little bit. So this was actually named the Cognac of Napoleon. Yes, his little short self. He loved it so much that he actually decided to give it its own little nickname in the title. Okay, so back in 1869, Napoleon III granted Courvoisier the title of official supplier to the imperial court. Okay, and so he loved it. This is all he was drinking. This is the cognac that he drank. Okay, and if you notice on the bottle, that is their logo. Their logo is a picture, is actually a Napoleon silhouette, and it was introduced in 1950. So Courvoisier actually used Napoleon as their logo going forward as of the 1950s. So let's get into the smells of the cognac. So when I smell it 2 different type of ways. Once with your mouth closed and once with your lips parted, because as we all know, your ears, nose, and your mouth, everything is connected in the back. And so if you have a continuous flow, you'll actually get a better whiff of what you're smelling. So one of the things I notice with most of the cognacs, I'm always going to smell the oak. I may smell something very differently when it comes to maybe I may smell a berry, or I may smell a vanilla, I may smell a caramel. A lot of those characteristics of the bouquets are very different, which is why some people prefer one than the other. So this one is vanilla, caramel. I don't mix Courvoisier. I don't mix it. This is something that I drink neat. Because it's that type of cognac. Okay? Whenever you have a drink, especially if it's your first one that you're tasting for the day or just anywhere you go, your first sip usually isn't your real sip. Your first sip is you want to make sure it gets all over your tongue, all through your mouth. You want to get like that first sting or that first awakening of the flavor in your mouth. You can either spit it out or swallow it. Some people, of the real makers, they will, take it in, they taste it, and they spit it out. Some may not swallow it, So just to know that usually your second one is usually where you can really sit back to evaluate what it tastes like. Okay, so Courvoisier tastes just like it smells. Everything that I smelled, it actually tastes the same. The only difference is the vanilla. It's sort of giving me a taste of like an almond for some reason. Why I taste almond, I have no idea, but I do. I know there's probably no almond in there, but that's the taste it gives me. It does have a long finish, meaning that the flavor lingers in your mouth long past the time that you swallow it. A short finish is usually when you drink something and as you swallow it, the taste is gone. But this one has a long finish. So that is Courvoisier. Oh, excuse me. See, habit, Courvoisier. All right. So let's talk about your Remy Martin. So while I'm pouring my portion of the Remy, let's talk a little about Remy. So, so Remy Martin was founded in 1724 by Paul Emile Remy Martin. Emile, hopefully, maybe I'm pronouncing, my pronunciation of the attached middle name is incorrect, but maybe, they wanted to, um, honor a grandmother or something, or maybe it's just a name that was common at that time. But the founder actually died in 1773, and his grandson took over in 1841. He actually pursued the business. Um, Remy is actually a blend of the top two from of the of its resources from the top two regions, which is Grand Champagne and Petit Champagne. So, which makes it even better. It was actually a wine company before it started distilling cognac. So they used to just produce brandy. Okay, 1972. I'm sorry, 1927. Excuse me, my brain is turned backwards. 1927, they launched their first VSOP, and it was sold across the world, which actually made them even more known. And they've been growing since then. And of course, as we talked about before, Louis 13 happens to be what they're known for as of today. Okay, Louis 13, as I said, you can get it aged anywhere from 40 to 100 years. Their logo actually is it's an actual what do you call it? Centaur, which is half man, half horse. Half man, half horse. Um, and it is a representation of the grandson's zodiac. So, zodiac is what horoscope is the centaur? Put it in the comments. I know you do. I know you know. I'll let you think about it for a minute. I would like to raise my glass to the sages of the actual channel. Yes, I give you all props. I have not met not one sage that I have not liked at all, even in worst case scenarios. So just want to say that. Big up to the sages. All right. So before we get into the next one, if you haven't already, hit that like button and click subscribe for future videos. That will help me continue keep this channel going. So let's get into Remy. So with this one, every time I smell Remy, for some reason, I smell something different. This one is a little lighter, not as strong in the nose as the Courvoisier. And what I smell in this one is a lot more, I smell a lot more almond. Again, vanilla, of course. Maybe vanilla is just the base. And some of oak. It has a very smooth smell. Let me see if it goes down the same. It goes down, but the smell fools you. The smell makes you think, oh, it's going to be real smooth going down. You would think because it's an XO that it should be smooth. This one, surprised me a little bit, but it does have a long finish, so I do have an elongating taste in my mouth afterwards. Not too much a fan of the XO, but I do like the Louis 13 though. Just want to put that out there. Um, just in terms of the fact that I just prefer to drink my cognac straight. But there are some that I prefer to mix with, and those are usually the ones that are a little more sweeter in taste. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one, Martell. So Martell is the oldest, as I said. These are the veterans of cognac. Um, and it was founded in 1715 by Jean Martel. Jean Martel. And they actually use grapes in the Bordeaux region. Okay, so it's the third best region, right up under Petit Champagne. Okay, and they're actually known for Martell is actually known for their Cordon Bleu, which was featured in 1912. Every time you see a Martell bottle in the movie, it's always the Cordon Bleu. It's the most famous product that they're known for. I need to get me one for the bar. Anyone want to donate, let me know. But I'm always looking for it. Um, it's the second top selling cognac in the house in the world. So, like I said, it's the oldest, but it's only, um, actually, it's the third now compared to Remy. Okay. Their logo is a martinet, it's a bird, and it was actually created from the family's coat of arms in 1848. So, with that stated, let's get into Martell. I didn't mention the smell. The smell is actually the same as Courvoisier. I smell the vanilla, but I also smell more of the caramel, oak, and a hint of almond. Um, the actual finish is very short, so when I swallow it, the taste goes away. I may still feel a little bit of the sensation on my tongue, but the actual taste isn't long at all. I taste more of the caramel than I smell. I smelled more vanilla and then caramel, but I tasted more caramel with just a hint of vanilla. And I have a hint of almond from with the taste, not the smell, but the taste. Okay. Water break, everyone. I promise next time I pour it in the cup. Everybody don't need to see the water bottle. But I'm sure everyone has one in their house. All right. So let's go to Henny. Now, Hennessy, I have sort of like a love-hate relationship with Hennessy when it comes to the drinks. As you can see, it's empty, but I can tell you it's not because I drank it. It's because most of my friends and family who come over, those who are Henny drinkers, they're just Henny drinkers. Okay. Um, but my favorite Henny is actually Hennessy XO. As you can see, you don't see it up on my bar. And the reason being is because I keep it upstairs in my bedroom, in my bedroom bar, because I don't leave it up on this bar because I don't need everyone drinking it. It's not like it's all that expensive. It's just like $150 or $60, $160, up to 200 depending on where you go for the XO. But I can tell you, it's so smooth. It's so smooth. When I did my cognac tasting, my niece got hooked on it. So now that is the only Henny that she will drink. And if anyone else asks her, does she want Henny, and they pull something like this out, her nose is being turned. She's turning her nose up. So just to give you an idea, that Hennessy XO, if you have not tried it, please do so. You will not be disappointed. But I do have a question for some of you. What's the big deal about this? I just don't understand or get why people will lose their mind and will buy cases of it. If they hear that their friend or their family member or coworker is going on a cruise or going out of the country, hey, do they have that Hennessy white? Bring me back some white Hennessy. I just don't get it. I can't get into it. I've tasted it, and I'm gonna taste it again, just so you all know. Look at it. Is it even open? It's open. Somebody opened it. Okay, there we go. I just can't. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Can someone someone please tell me in the comments, what's the big deal about this? Is it just because you can't get it? Because you can't get it in the United States? Maybe it's because it's exclusive. So people always want something they can't get or can't have or easily obtain. Maybe it's just a psychological thing, because when it comes to the taste, even compared to this still tastes better. And the Henny XO tastes way more. I would think that people would lose their mind over the Henny XO. But I just can't get this. So please leave in the comments on why you think this is one of the best, why you must have this Hennessy White, please. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Hennessy. So Hennessy was founded, look at it, almost empty. It's all right. Look, my husband got a whole nother big one over there in the corner. And that'll probably last for another year. So Hennessy was founded in 1765, actually by an Irish military officer named Richard Hennessy. His son, in 1813, changed its name to Dusse Hennessy and Company, okay, which is from James Hennessy, but just Dusse Hennessy, okay. And just so you know how big Henny is, Hennessy they have a market share of 40% of the entire cognac global market. Just to give you an idea. Now, there are so many other cognacs, even these other big houses, but none of them produce as much as just this one Henny by itself. Now, do know, they've had some acquisitions and so forth, a couple of mergers that make them such a big company, because it's not just about the liquor. They are a luxury brand all around, okay? So just to give you some information on that. So in 1971, okay, a couple of years before I was born, Killian Hennessy actually spearheaded a merger with Moet and Chandon, which created Moet Hennessy. So that's why you may see Moet Hennessy symbols wherever you go in certain areas, okay? Then in 1987, Moet Hennessy merged with Louis Vuitton, creating the world's largest luxury brand conglomerates, also known as LVMH. So Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy. Okay, Hennessy's logo is not really a logo. It's actually just a name. It actually, believe it or not, if you actually look at the logo on here, it looks like an arm coming out of the ground holding an axe. Not like an axe that we know, like lumberjack, Paul Bunyan axe, but this is like an axe where, you know, they used to chop your head off back in the day. And I don't know what the name of that is. Somebody leave it in the comments what the name of that type of axe is. But you know, the guys with the used to cover their face, the executioner, and they used to chop your head off. Not the ones with the sword, but the big axe that curved around and curved with the big long handle. That's really what's logo is on here. Um, and this was and it actually has a date of 1765. So I'm thinking that was just the logo to remember when they all started. That might have been the logo at that time, but right now Hennessy's official logo is just the name itself. Okay, now just so you know, hold on, now we all know what Hennessy tastes like. If you don't know what Hennessy tastes like, trust me, ask at least 3 of your friends. Somebody has it in their house. I don't care what culture you come from. Guaranteed, either they have, don't, even if they don't have it, they can get it. So, Hennessy is everywhere. I'm just going to drink this for the sake of this segment. So, let me go through the motions of the Hennessy because Hennessy, especially the VS part, the VS level of it, that is definitely something that I mix. If I was to drink this, it would definitely be in something like a Henny Margarita or Henny and Coke. You know, I even known people to add Henny with pomegranate juice and, you know, try to make their own concoctions and, you know, all other types of ways. But the hint that I get from the Henny is predominantly caramel. And of course, again, the almond and the oat and the vanilla, but the caramel stands out the most, meaning it's the sweetest, and I'm about to taste it to reconfirm. Yes, it is. And just so you know, that is much smoother going down than that Henny Pure White. Just so you know that. Okay? But just so you'll know how big Hennessy is, Hennessy has revamped their bottles so many times over the years. They've had the gold bottle, they've had the platinum bottle that glows under the light. They've had the through the black bottle. Remember the black bottle with the 3D label on it. They had the red bottle. They even had the bottle where the Hennessy word had a luminous glow to it, you know, just so, you know, extra with things. But just to give you an idea of what falls up under the Hennessy luxury brand conglomerate, you're talking about brands such as Hermes Paris, Christian Dior, Fendi, Givenchy, Bulgari, Tagwa. Don't get me in the comments. It's the watch company. Tagwar, and I did not look that up to see how to pronunciate that word properly. Do not get me in the comments, okay? It's the watch company. I'm gonna call it Tag H, okay? Sephora, Tiffany and Company, just to name a few. Your girl's brand was on there, okay? Fenty Beauty, Rihanna's brand, but for somehow it closed after a couple of years. Don't know why, but it did. Okay. Um, so I want to take a moment to, if you notice, let me put it this way. If you notice, I've been wearing this lovely sweatshirt. Okay. Red, white, and black. I know. I live in Georgia. I know those are the colors of the Bulldogs and the Falcons and everything. Whatever. I know. Don't get me in the comments. I did not say I did not like the Falcons and the Dogs. I just said whatever. But anyway, I just wanted to thank them for this lovely sweatshirt. Okay. Basically NYC Apparel. Okay. And let me move this out the way so you can actually see the sweater. So, as you can see, This is from Basically NYC Apparel. It is a family-owned apparel company with New York City swag, with apparel for men and women. Okay, their apparel includes sweaters, hoodies, t-shirts. Visit their site. Their site I will leave down below in the description box along with their Instagram handle. And just so you know, this does say basic. Okay, um, you know, do know that when people hear the word basic, they think, well, I don't want to be basic. I want to be extra. I'm not wearing nothing that just say basic. Why didn't it have something that say extra? Let me tell you why. So the next time someone calls you basic, you can come back at them. But basic here stands for being able to succeed and inspire change. So I'm going to say that one more time. Being able to succeed and inspire change. So just so you know, the next time someone calls you basic, take it as a compliment and let them know, yes, you're inspiring change in this world. But big up to Dre and Shan, okay, my New York City peeps. Basically New York City Apparel, everybody. All right, support them. Small business owners, support small business owners down in the description box. Please do so. All right. All right, everyone. It is time for the cocktail. All right. And our featured cocktail for today is actually a cocktail that I created for my house, for my basement, for my lounge 4092. And yes, I did give it a name. Okay. So, but just so you know, I'm not making it with any of the cognacs that we tasted today. Okay. So I'm going to bring out another cognac that I'm pretty sure that you've all heard about. Dusse. That's right, Dusse. And I'm not the only one that likes it. Okay? Dusse. This is their symbol. This is their name. I know all you hear is Jay-Z and Beyonce talking about Dusse, but if I do say so myself, this is the cognac that I like. Yes, you can drink it straight, but you can also put it on ice, or you can mix it with whatever you want. But today we are making a cocktail with it with very minimal added ingredients, okay? And so, those ingredients are Dusse, real lime juice. Now, I just used an old bottle because it was just easy to have, and it has a little spout. But I actually squeeze my own lime juice. Don't use this. I just want to let people know, don't use this unless you don't care about who you're making a drink for. Okay? Now, you do know I have it here. I have it here because there are people who won't know the difference. But for those friends who I know who actually take pride in what they're drinking, because some of my friends, if you don't have what it is that they drink, they'll just drink water or soda or juice. Okay? Like me, I'm not the type to drink just I don't drink to get drunk. I drink because it must taste good. It must give me some form of an experience. You have lime juice. You have simple syrup. Simple syrup is nothing but sugar and water, and you can actually make your own simple syrup. You can make your own simple syrup, put some sugar and some water over the stove and stir it until it gets a little thick, and then pour it in a bottle and do it yourself. I just buy it because these are so cheap. I mean, they're like $1 or something like that for a bottle, and they usually last a long time. So I usually buy a couple of them at the same time. Also, ginger ale. And that's it. Those are the only four ingredients. So, with that stated, I normally would put this in a rock glass, but I'm not going to put it in a rock glass. I'm actually going to put it in my little short cocktail glass. And I like this versatile cocktail glass because you can actually put margaritas in here. You can put martinis in here. You can put very short, simple drinks in here. You can do Manhattans, old fashions. Is just the right size. It's 6 ounces, which is usually the size of a rock glass. A rock glass is going to give you probably 6 to 8 ounces worth of fluid to fit in there. And just remember, when you're making a cocktail, be mindful of the amount of fluid that you're preparing to make sure that you have the glass that is big enough to hold everything. So, with that said, let's get into making this cocktail. All right, so we have all the ingredients we need to make our cocktail. We have the cognac, we have the lime juice, we have the simple syrup, we have the ginger ale, we have our shaker, and we have our jigger. A jigger is actually to help you measure how much fluid you're using. This is actually 2 ounces. This is 1 ounce. Okay, and on the inside of the rim, it'll show you little measurements for half, a quarter, 3/4. This is just a straight 2 ounce here. I like to use this one because most of my drinks require one or the other. Very seldom is it anything more or less. So, with that stated, let's understand that you put ice in here, but sometimes I like to let the glass be chilled just a little bit and just mix the drink in here. I'll let the glass sit with the actual ice in it. I just like a chilled glass, and I will add that ice back in here once I add the ingredients. So with your shaker here, you want to add 2 ounces of cognac. And like I said, you can make it with Dusse or not, but this is what it tastes like with the Dusse. So just so you'll know, you can try and experiment with so many other things. 2 ounces of cognac, 1 ounce of real lime juice. Key word is real lime juice. Trust me, it's a big difference. Half ounce of simple syrup. Add ice. I'll put the rest of the ice in here. Put the top on there. And you want to shake it until it gets frosty. That's how you know your drink is chilled. So some people like the ice with it. If you have the ice with it, then of course you may want to get a bigger glass or taller glass, maybe a highball glass. But for this sake, what we're going to do is just strain it through, leave it chilled. And then top it off with ginger ale. Some people stir it up, but as you pour the ginger ale in it, it actually dips down into the bottom and mixes itself. So, just so you know. All right. You can top it off and garnish it with some lime. I didn't want any lime. Didn't prefer the lime since there's already lime juice in there, but if you wanted to make it look pretty, you know, I wouldn't recommend a lime wedge. I would recommend a lime wheel, and then just stick it on the side of the actual glass for a garnish. So, let's taste. I already know it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be good. So, try it at home. Let me know how you like it. And if you don't like Dusse, try it with something else. If you're a Henny person, knock yourself out. If you want Martell, use Martell. You want Camels, use Camels. Hey, if you want Remy, use Remy. Just try it. See what you like. Like I said, don't let anyone tell you how to drink your drink. Drink it the way you want to drink it, in whatever you want to drink it in, how you want to drink it. So, while I'm enjoying this cocktail, let's talk about some of the health benefits of cognac. So, did you know cognac can help improve your health by boosting your immune system? It's also very high in antioxidants, and it prevents cellular damage by inflammation and oxidative stress, prevents clogged arteries, heart disease, cancer, and vision loss. I'll drink to that. It also acts as a blood thinner and reduces type 2 diabetes and reduces obesity. I'll drink to that. And it also improves psychological health, cognitive performance, and reduces risk of dementia. Now, that health benefit, I would love to know how it does that. Is it because if you drink it and it makes you feel good that you're less likely to, lash out at someone because it keeps you calm? Like sort of how they with drug psych patients, to sort of keep them calm, so they'll be a little bit too, they just won't be as hostile as they would had they not had maybe like a sedative or something to just calm them down. Or is it that you feel so relaxed that you're able to think better without, some people are have hyperactive brains. They think all day. I'm one of those people. Literally, my brain is running every second of the day. There is no time other than when I'm sleeping. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Where my brain is thinking of what needs to be done today, what's going on tomorrow, what's going on next week, what's coming up that I need to take care of, where are things going, how am I supposed to get this done, who do I need to contact, who do I need to call, what's going on at work, who do I need to follow up with, who do I need to call, is this need to be done, I really need to talk to this person. My brain is going constantly. So if this is going to help with cognitive performance, I drink to that. So, well, everyone, hopefully you enjoyed yourself. It's time for me to go and enjoy this delicious cocktail. But before I let you go, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel for notifications. There will be weekly videos, and monthly there will be a live lit section. It's called Lit and Live with Adventures of Spirits. Okay? You can join in on me on the live chat with some of me and my guests, and we can talk about the different type of libations that we're drinking and play a couple of games. Very laid back, very fun, very informal. So just let you know. And also, in the comments section below, please tell me how you like this video. It was my first tasting video. I need to know, how did I do? Do you want to see more content like this? Are there any particular other spirits or wines that you want me to present? If so, leave those down in the actual comment section. If you want me to focus or give you a little more information on a different type of spirit, a different type of liquor, whether it be rum, vodka, gin, tequila, things of that nature. Excuse me. If they are must tries, like you have come across something that you're like, ooh, I really want other people to try this, put it in the comment section. Let me know. I'll pick it up. I'll add it to a tasting session in one of my future videos, and we'll all taste it together, and we'll all give it a review at that time, okay? And remember, drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, and don't let anyone tell you how to drink your drink. Okay? Shout out to the designated drivers. Okay? All the designated drivers out there. They are family members, co workers, friends who would not be able to go out and have a good time without you. So, shout out to the designated drivers. I actually prefer to party at home in my lounge 4092. I mean, I have all the alcohol. I got couches. I got music over there in the corner. I got a TV. I'm good. You okay? At my age, it's time for me to sit down. I don't need to be at the club. At home is just fine. So if I get sleepy, I can climb my tail 2 flights upstairs and be home. I don't need to be on the road. So you all drink responsibly. It's time for me to enjoy my cocktail. Until next week.